Hi, my name's Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Oh. I was like, where's the music coming from? It's coming from my phone. Try that again. Hi, my name's Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you're doing well. And today is Monday, and it's May the 9th. So, God, the year's gone quick, hasn't it? How is it May already? Coming up to June, be halfway through. And what's up with that light behind me? Is it distracting? It's kind of flashing. You know, it's distracting me. Hang on, give me a second. So there's a story with that lamp. You may remember, I went through like 5 of those or 3 of those lamps, and this is the old lamp that I just had there. So this is actually really important for guitarists to know, and I knew this, and yet I still didn't think about it. The light that I had most recently that I really like, that is currently on being sent back and being changed by the manufacturer, has a dim switch on it. And a dim switch adds a lot of noise to like electric guitars, as you probably, I knew this, and yet I chose to ignore it. And then the other day I thought, you know, this apartment's there's always been noise here, but there's really noisy right now. And I realized it was the lamp. So I emailed the company, they're on Etsy. And I said, can you make me one with just a switch? I thought, here we go, buy yet another lamp, like the 4th or 5th lamp, whatever. And they were great. Unlike the other company that sold me a lamp that came broken and didn't want to refund it until I really had to press Etsy to help me out. This company, Illuminated Objects they're called, offered to have me send the light back to them. They're going to change the switch just to an on-off switch and even include a lower wattage bulb because it'll be at full brightness. And they've just sent me a notification to say it's on its way back. And they haven't charged me. I mean, they might charge me. I don't know yet, but they haven't charged me yet. They just seem like a really good company. So I'm really, really happy about that. There are some good companies out there, and I hope to tell you about them as we go forward. No plan today. I'd like to talk about the gigs this week. I'd like to ask you how you thought my video was on the Variax last week. I enjoyed checking that out again. And I think I'll just do, like last week, I'll just do casual questions and conversation. If I run out of questions, I always have the ones on the channel to sit and go through, so I could do that in real time. But luckily, there's lots of people here, so it's great. I'll just work my way through the list. So, Rafa is here. Gonna be listening, just finished at the gym. Very nice. So, how's it going? Are you still doing open mics? You're still doing all that? And is that why you're going to the gym? Are you getting lean and mean for these open mics and potential gigs? That sounds great. Why don't I have YouTube memberships? Okay, so thank you for your question. YouTube memberships, if you don't know, are basically like Patreon. So the way YouTube works now is weird. So you like a channel, you find a video, you like the video, you want to see more from that person, so you click on subscribe, right? And you think, right, I've subscribed to them, it's free, that's great. But what happens is, I've been told you don't get notified of them posting new videos. So what you really have to do these days is hit subscribe and ring the bell and turn on all notifications. And then you'll be told whenever they release a video or go live. Okay, that's why I always ask people to do both things. In the old days, I'm told that you just subscribed, and that gave you all their videos. Now you have to subscribe and ring the bell. And there's also now these memberships as well, where the viewers will pay a few dollars, whatever you want them to, maybe $1, $2, $10 a month to be a member of that channel. It's funny because when I used to ask people to subscribe years ago, they thought they had to pay. Like, can you subscribe? Like you subscribe to Netflix or subscribe to your phone, right? So they thought they had to pay, but they actually don't have to. But the memberships, you do pay. So for the memberships, you would pay. And what do you get for that? Well, you're sponsoring and helping the creator, which is great. You can have your own logo on the screen. It can tell people that you're a member, you support the channel, how long you've been a member. So it makes it more of like a kind of a club. And I think it's great, Rafa. I was going to do it. I was about to do it during the lockdown when I was doing videos every single day. I felt like I'm working this full time now. I need to make some money from it. I was about to do it. And then some things happened and I didn't do quite as many videos, and then gigs came back a bit and I haven't done so many videos. My schedule now is hoping to be Sundays for the concert when I'm not playing, Mondays talking like this, and then at least one, but one probably pre-recorded video during the week, like I did the Variax review last week. So that's going to be my schedule. So I don't know. I'll see how things ramp up. If I feel like I'm doing 3 or 4 things a week every single week, I may turn them on. I just want to make sure that I don't suddenly get a load of gigs in the summer and I can't do anything for a few months. I wouldn't want to have memberships on and not be here. Although you can just turn them off, of course. You can unsubscribe from those at any time. So I think I'll do that. I'm glad you brought it up. I think I will turn them on at some point. I just want to wait until I feel like I'm back in my mojo again. But thanks for bringing that up. David is here. It's overcast. You know where I am? It's really sunny, and when you're in the sun, it's really hot. But in the apartment, it's really cold. The wind is cold, and I think there's some blowing through the apartment for some cracks that are around. So I'm really cold in the apartment, but it's actually kind of like 65 outside. When you're in the sun, it feels very warm. And Jim says it's summertime here in Vermont, 73 degrees. Peter's here. How you doing, buddy? Sending you hello. I can't stay. Love you. Have a great show. Thank you for your continued support, Peter Gregg. I appreciate it. And it's nice to know that I'm loved as well. Patsy Smith says, hello, David, Jim, Rafi, Aaron, and everyone in the chat from a hot and dry Suffolk. They need some rain over there, I hear. Peter says, please give a thumbs up. Yes, please do. And it's Joe. You know how I remember your name, Joe? Because I link people's names to songs. And I remembered your name because you told me Joe, and I thought, hey, Joe. And even though I haven't seen you for what feels like months, I can still remember your name because of the song. That's a little tip for you if you have a problem like me remembering names. He says, hey, it's been a while, has been busy with work. Yeah, I was just thinking that before I went live today. A lot of people now must be busy back at work and busy, going out, enjoying life again. So I understand. Early to bed earlier and early to rise here in the UK. I've been doing that too. I've been going to bed early and waking up early too. Hope you're well. I am doing pretty good. What kind of gigs have I got? Well, I don't want to jinx it by telling you, Joe, but so what happened was when we started to reopen, I got called back to a restaurant I play twice a week. That's great. And I moved the dates from Tuesday and Saturday to Tuesday and Thursday because I want to keep my weekends free for any potential weddings and parties that might come in. And then another venue I used to play years ago called me up, which was a bit of a surprise, actually. I thought maybe it was too soon, but anyway, it's been great. Been there on Wednesdays. It's a local place, so all bars and restaurants. And then Fridays, I've just started covering for a guy who's going to do coding in California. So I'm covering for him every Friday. That's in the city. So I got 4 bar gigs a week. And it's interesting what we were talking about last week with the voice. I'm definitely feeling it more. I definitely am. Because these are long gigs. These are 3 to 4 hours each, 4 gigs every single week. And then the weekends I've been doing, quite a lot of, well, not a lot, but I've been doing parties. So I had an outside party last week. I had an inside party the week before. And, may it long continue. I've got none this week, but may those continue. I enjoy those. And I'm trying to get my chops up and lose a bit of weight so I can do more wedding band. I love doing the wedding band in the summer. So like Rafa, I'm trying to fix the diet and clean things up. And I want to hit the scene again. I love it. I love doing online. I love sitting here and talking, knowing that people are out there watching. But I also love actually playing in person as well. There's nothing like it, is there? I mean, I guess that's what I grew up doing. So I'm going to say that. And then I've also had 1 or 2 students as well. I haven't been looking, but they've come my way. I've had some people that I've trained in looping, how to use their pedal, which has been great. Like pedals I've spent weeks making videos on, I can then teach how to use them. So I had like a couple of sessions with a guy that had his first gig coming up, or a gig coming up with his looper. He wanted some pointers on that. And I've had a couple of guitar students. One's actually learning looping, and the other one just wants to kind of go back and brush things up. So I've been doing that using this platform, which is great. I get to use this not just for the YouTube, but also for teaching. As you can see, I've got the second camera on my left, which isn't turned on right now, but I've got a good high quality setup to do the teaching with, which is cool too. So it's worked out quite nicely, I must say. But I do want to get back into the videos more because my numbers have really slowed down because I stopped making so many videos. So it's like everything in life, it's a balance, isn't it? Lisa, how you doing? Only 58 degrees. Wow. That sounds like it's cold for California. Larry, how you doing, Larry? Oh, Lisa was in. So I'm from Suffolk originally, Lisa. So, and that's where Ed Sheeran is from. 3 of the best years of my life were spent in Suffolk when my father was at the base in Lakenheath. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. What's happening in the UK? You know, I'm not in the UK, right, Jim? You know, I'm in the East Coast, on the East Coast of America. Everyone thinks I'm in England because of my accent. I don't. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Just to clarify, I'm in the United States of America. Yeah, I can see how that'd be confusing. Larry is in Maryland. Cool. Rosanna's here. How you doing, Rosanna? Good to see you. I'm not going to read all the comments out here because some of them are just chatting with each other. Here we go. Enjoyed the Variax vid. I remember that when it was a big thing. The Variax is still a big thing. The Variax Electric is still used by a lot of people and even famous bands. But the acoustic one, I think, was so cool. And I think it's a shame they abandoned it. I mean, they abandoned it, right? They just let it go. They don't make it anymore. What a great idea it was. Oh, I like this one. Looking good with the haircut and wanted to ask, doesn't the electric Variax have the acoustic options, making the acoustic Variax redundant? Yes, doing open mics weekly. I'm a regular now. Yes, I'm like you, Rav. I told you, I'm trying to clean up. So I dropped off a guitar for a setup last week, and I was like, you know what? I can't stand my hair. It's like sticking out. I can't make it go down. It's all like puffy and grey. So I just called my old stylist, haircut person, and I said to him, look, I need to come and see you when you're working. He said Wednesdays. I thought, oh, it's a Wednesday. So I looked at on the internet. He had a session. So I said, I'm booking it right now. I had to re-enter my address and my credit card, and by the time I'd done that, the appointment had gone, but he squeezed me in anyway. So I walked down there. It's over 100 blocks. I walked there, had a haircut, and I feel great because there's nothing like having a good, well, I'm not saying good haircut because that's all subjective, but there's nothing like having a haircut that you like to have, right? So I'm on the same train as you, Rafa. You're trying to get yourself, you know, you go to the gym and you're doing these open mics and stuff, get gig ready. That's what I'm doing too. I want to get like wedding band ready so I can show up in my suits and walk out there and feel very confident in how I look and how I feel. So it's good stuff. I think that stuff is as important to me. I'm not going to say everyone. That stuff is as important to me as the music and the gear. And maybe I forgot that a little bit in the lockdown because I didn't really leave the apartment at all for a long time. And I'm realizing now that I've missed that. David, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Let me play one of these. I'm a bit rusty. Hang on. Thank you. See, David is supporting the channel. I appreciate it. So he did say, doesn't the electric Variax make the acoustic one redundant? Well, no. I know where you're going with this because the electric and the acoustic one are both solid body. So you could argue that they're both solid body guitars. What are the actual differences? Same saddle, same pickups. Everything is the same. But I think the difference is with the Variax acoustic, it is using acoustic strings. And I think the electric strings on the Variax electric guitar are your biggest change. Could you use acoustic strings on the electric guitars? Maybe. And I think some people would do that, possibly. But at the same time, the Variax acoustic has that look, doesn't it? And more importantly, it has more models. It has a lot of different acoustic models and other instruments as well, along with the tunings, of course, that are also on the electric one. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I don't think it makes it redundant. And I think they could have done more with it. But I think having the acoustic strings on there, the 12 acoustic gauge strings, is the biggest thing. And then the look of it is the next thing, because some people want to give that acoustic guitar impression that it certainly gave, where the Variax electric, you know, if you get up there with a Les Paul, you kind of, like I just spoke about how you look on stage, I think the visuals are very important to people. In the same way that a lot of acoustic guitarists didn't buy the Variax acoustic because they felt it looked too modern. A lot of acoustic players just want to have a dreadnought acoustic on stage because that's the look that they're going for. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of crossover there. I agree with that, but I don't feel that it makes it redundant. And I remember, there's a lot of different models on there. There was the small body, the triple O, the jumbo, the dreadnought. As it turned out, I gravitated just towards the jumbo sound. I didn't use the others really when I was demoing it, but they're there in case you do prefer those sounds. So it would be interesting to put acoustic strings on a Variax electric. I've never done that, but that could be an interesting experiment. Of course, then they won't work well with the electric pickups that are on the guitar. So I think they should have kept them separate. There also used to be a Variax bass for a while as well. There was a Variax bass, electric, and acoustic. And then they got rid of those two. I guess they just didn't sell well. It's all about numbers, isn't it? As we know. I too have found this to be true. Unfortunately, John, I've forgotten what I was just saying. So there is like a lag between the comments and what I'm talking about, and then the lag of me getting on to the next comment. So I apologize. Larry says, my Yamaha FG830 has really opened up 2 years in. Between the Yamaha and the Alvarez, mahogany top guitar is really top notch. Not to mention my Martin, I am good. So you're done with guitars? Yeah, the FG830 is a great guitar. I was playing mine the other day. I'm going to sell mine just simply because I don't need it. You know, I have this one to take out in the rain, and I have the Cole Clark to plug in, and I have the Martin to use acoustically, and then I have a few others that I'm currently going through as well. But they are great guitars. There's no denying it. And you've got an Alvarez. I haven't played any Alvarez guitars, but that's got a mahogany top. Cool. And you've got the Martin DX. Yeah, so that's a nice trio. Okay, that's a good question for you. How many guitars? I know it's a joke. How many guitars is enough? 10 plus infinity, whatever. But how many guitars, if we're being all serious right now, is enough for you? Maybe for you is the question. Because maybe if I ask someone that gigs or plays sessions, they're going to have a different answer to someone that plays at home as a hobby. Because someone that plays sessions may be required to have a Telecaster, a Stratocaster, a Les Paul, a 6-string, a 7-string, an acoustic, a ukulele, whatever. And someone that plays at home for themselves may not have those requirements. So how many guitars is right for you is a good question. I often think this to myself, and I do keep adding one on for some reason, which is terrible. John says, thanks for a great Mother's Day show. You're welcome. That was unexpected. I knew I was going live on Mother's Day for the US crowd, but I forgot, because Mother's Day is a different day in England, but I forgot to learn the Mother's Day songs, so we kind of did them on the spot. It was a bit of a mishmash, but it was all right. It worked out. Oh, Rafa, thank you. Rafa is supporting the show with a super chat. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Very impressed by my memory. I have a terrible memory. It's all because I link names to songs or I write them in my phone. That's it. Peter says, for information, memberships take 30% out of the money. Patreon takes 7% more or less out of the money. Now, I do know that, Peter, and I do hear a lot of people say, oh, YouTube take 30% of all the revenue from the creator and the super chats and the memberships and everything. I am personally fine with it because the reason is I don't pay anything to YouTube. I pay a lot of money to Ecamm Live and my internet service provider and Canva and these different things to make streams and videos. But YouTube don't charge me, and they're the heart of the whole thing, aren't they? They're giving me the storage, like a lot of storage. They're promoting the videos sometimes. That was mean. They are promoting the videos. The videos are out there. And although I could use Patreon and make more money, if I do decide to turn on memberships or Patreon, it would be memberships because it's all in one place. I feel like when you start diverting people to buy me a coffee and Patreon, it can get even more confusing. And this is just my opinion. So if I was going to do something like that to ask for more support for the channel, to do more things, I would definitely do memberships for that reason. But thank you for making us aware of that. It's good to be aware of that fact that if you are thinking about doing one or the other. And I do see a point of Patreon. I definitely do. If you want to do something over there that's very separate and very unique and different, I think that's great. But as someone that's just doing YouTube right now, I think I would try to keep everything on the YouTube platform. And I say it's easier. I also mean probably it's easier for me as well as the viewer, to be fair. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it. Great stream yesterday, and that stream is still up. If you want to go and watch it again, it's still up there. I just got an ESP LTD TL-6FM, and I really like the plugged-in acoustic sound. Have you played one? Well, what I'm going to have to do is jump over to the web browser. So give me 1 second. I need to load this up on Sweetwater and check it out, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Although there is an LTD that I'm looking at with the Evertune bridge, which is coming out, I think, in the summer or end of the year. I'm quite interested in getting one of those for teaching and things, but I'll talk about that another day. Let's look at this guitar here, the TL-6FM. And once I've got it on the screen, I'll take you over there. Oh, this looks very interesting. Yeah, we need to check this out. So 1 second, we'll jump over to the desktop here. There we go, nice. Let's have some water. Look at that, stunning. Okay, so you've ordered this one. Good. Okay, this first thing I looked at was the price. Well, the first thing I looked at was the guitar to make sure I didn't hate it, and I didn't. I like it. Then I looked at the price. Isn't that interesting? So $749, that's a good price, especially these days. And as we know, everything's going up in price all the time. Now, what is this? Let's go into the specs here and see. So as you can see, there's a hole there. So it is unlike the Variax acoustic, it is an acoustic body. You know, it's hollow body. And then my first question with an acoustic guitar now is always, what's the pickup in there? That really seals the deal for me. So as we can see, it's made by Fishman. Okay, well that can be one thing or another depending on what they're using exactly. So let's see what it is. I can't tell just by looking at it. It's the Fishman TL3. Now what does the 3 mean? Does that mean treble bass and volume? Or does that... Oh, thank you, Nick84215579 for subscribing. I appreciate that. That's awesome too. So what is in that pickup? Does it tell us anywhere? Sometimes they don't tell you, and I find that really annoying when they don't tell you exactly what it is. But this is a Fishman TL3 preamp. So maybe we can cut and paste that and put that into here. This is it right here. So you've got a tuner, which is nice to have, a master volume, it's nice to have, bass, treble, and middle. So there's no blend or secondary control for a mic or anything, which is, you know, depends what you want. I tend to go for pickups that have the mic and the undersaddle these days, or at least the undersaddle and the body sensor. But then again, like I said, the price is really good. So maybe I'm expecting too much. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. I like these thin body acoustics lately. I've looked at a few lately. My eyes are always on like the Cole Clark thin line guitars like this. I'm thinking on stage, I don't really want any sound at all. I wouldn't mind if this wasn't even there, if it was just a solid guitar like the Variax, because then it eliminates all possibility of feedback, which I think is a great thing. So I don't know, but yeah, it's cool. I like it. I like it for that reason. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be easier to play on stage. It's going to be thinner. It's going to be easier. Everything about it's going to be easier. Look at the colorway, makes it easy to access those frets up the top. The controls are on the top. Some people hate having the controls on the guitar, but on a stage guitar, isn't it great to have them right there so you can make those adjustments on the fly? I think it's easy to say I don't like controls and things on an acoustic guitar when you don't play gigs because you don't really need them, but when you actually need them on a stage, then it makes a difference. So let's see what we're saying here. Padded Pedarum. I was just watching yesterday's concert. Great job. I really enjoyed your song selection. Well, it was all because of the viewers, Francis. I was just playing their songs even if I didn't know them, which I thought was quite fun. Going to the gym is part of feeling better at performing. Helps energy and breathing, I think. Definitely. Yep. Well, think about it. If especially for singers, I mean, for guitarists, unless your belly's so big the guitar is hard to reach, which I've had a problem with in the past, trust me, or physically actually getting to the gig, which I've noticed, like, you know, when you carry 40 pounds worth of gear to a gig, I'm thinking, wow, if I lose 40 pounds, it'll be that much easier to get to the gig. But then you've got to think about it when you're standing there and for like, let's take my gig into consideration. It's 4 hours long, right? So you're standing there for 4 hours, standing up, holding a guitar, and you've got to think about things like your posture. you got to think about things like your breathing, and obviously these things will be much harder when you're overweight or whatever. So you're definitely right. Going to the gym can only be a good thing. You know, going for walks, eating healthy, going to the gym, and looking after yourself. Because, like they say, it's very cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you're a singer, the body is the instrument. So with guitars, as you know, I've decided today, for example, I'm not saying this is fact. For example, I've decided today I don't like this guitar on the wall. I'm going to put it on eBay and order another one. Okay, may or may not make or lose money. That's one bad side. But you get a new guitar. With your voice, you can't say, I don't like my voice today. I'm going to go out and buy another one. Unfortunately, because if you could, I would go and buy Freddie Mercury's voice and probably get more shows. But you have the voice and the body that you have, right? We can't change that. Well, we can't change the core of that. And it's the same thing with songs too. When you learn a song, this is all my opinion. I want a banner on the screen. This is all my opinion. I guess you know that. But when I learn to sing a song, I'm requested to play a song, the first thing I do is listen to it and then think, right, what key do I need to play it in for my voice? Because my voice is good at certain things and not others. And your voice may be good at other things and not others. And you have to really, figure out what works for you and then to sell the song, right? So that all kind of ties into that. But yes, I agree. I remember the end of my studying when I got to year 3 at uni. It was a music performance course, and that became part of the conversation that last year. Start thinking about how you feel, how you look, and how you work out, because you'll be going out, you'll be leaving school, and you'll be actually approaching bands to get jobs. And whatever we think about how looks and things factor into these things, again, that's all got to be your personal opinion. But there's definitely bands you go and audition for where the first thing they do is they look at you, right? Like some people look at guitars before they buy a guitar to play it. Some bands care more about the looks than the playing. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but if they do that and you show up and that affects who gets the gig, that could be a bad thing. This is dangerous, because I don't want you to think that I'm saying it's good to that you have to look a certain way, have to do a certain thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying my experience in the past has been, I've been for auditions, and I don't even know if they have judged me on my looks, but the fact that they may have judged me on my looks is always in my mind. That might be an old school thing. That might be because my school told me to do that. So don't take that the wrong way. All right. Jim said, missed a concert yesterday, busy with mum and offspring's Mother's Day, a restaurant. Well, first of all, yes, it was Mother's Day, so I'm not surprised some people were not here. Of course, I understand that, and it makes sense. And don't forget, the show is available to watch again whenever you want, so you can watch it again. Heck, you can watch last year's show if you want. I don't know why my nose is itchy. It always happens when I'm doing the talking. You can watch it again, Jim, so no problem. I hope you had a great Mother's Day. Spray or mousse? I use mousse I thought you said mouse, to counteract my helmet hair. This is that putty stuff, I don't know what it is. It's like it's just like when the hairdresser first did it, I was just like, oh, what do you use for this one? Okay, I get that one. And then it's like, yeah. I'm not turning this into a hair care channel. Let's keep it music. John said it's 90 degrees in Kansas City, Missouri right now. Fahrenheit, okay. Rafa, drop a link to your channel in the chat so our friends can check it out if they want to. That'd be great. But you said image is a big part of performing. A lot of that is just down to you. How do you feel? How do you feel when you walk out onto a microphone? Like, how do you feel musically, physically, mentally? I guess that's what it comes down to, isn't it? And we could argue that some people drink alcohol to feel good when they get in front of a microphone. I've definitely done that myself. I've had nights where I've had alcohol and I felt like I had a really good time. I don't know how I sounded. Maybe I sounded better. Maybe I sounded worse. I don't know. It definitely affects the voice, and you've got to figure out if that affects your voice negatively and if it's something that you can do when you sing or not. That's, again, a personal decision, but if that makes you feel a certain way, then maybe that's okay, So You got to decide what works for you and what makes you feel comfortable when you perform. I like to feel relaxed and prepared. I don't like playing a song I don't really know. I do it on the live streams, and sometimes it's really bad, but I feel like, well, it's not, maybe it's bad of me to think that way. I think it's not a paid gig. I'm at home. We're all kind of like know each other. I guess strangers are going to watch it, but I don't, that's not my, or maybe I'm doing it more now because I'm doing it more on the channel. But like, I would never want to do that at someone's wedding, of course. I mean, you wouldn't do that. You prepare. So I like to be overly prepared. I like to be relaxed. I do like to feel good. Yeah, I like it when I feel light, and it makes me also. I feel like it makes me sing better. I feel like it makes me move more too, and it just makes me not kind of want to cover things up. Right? Sometimes when I've done videos and things, I'm trying to hide myself up behind the guitar. So I like to not do that, because you can't do that at a wedding anyway. You're standing up, you're in a suit, everyone's looking around, they're taking photos and videos, right? 12 guitars are enough for me now. Okay. Why? Why 12? You've just decided that you've got 12 and then you're going to stop for a while. Just put your link in the chat, Rafa, it's fine. I don't mind. He currently has 3 electric, 1 bass, 1 steel acoustic, and a nylon. I want to upgrade the nylon and was thinking about the Variax for different tunings, but you can't buy them anymore. I don't have that one. I don't have that one here anymore. You can't buy them, so all you can do is... Oh, sorry, you mean Variax electric? Yes, that. No, that doesn't do nylon sounds though. Let me just read this again. I'm getting confused. 1 steel string acoustic and a nylon. Okay, full stop. I want to upgrade the nylon. All right. I was thinking about the Variax different tunes. Okay, Variax doesn't have nylon, so don't forget that. The Variax acoustic does, but that was a retro gear review. You cannot buy those guitars anymore. You might find one used, but be careful. Here's why I'm not going to own one. And this also spills into other gear too. Like, I love that retro gear series, and I think that some retro gear is still better than current gear. But there's a big thing to remember. Some of the parts, especially now, but even before the pandemic, are not made anymore. So we often laugh with, joke around with B-Mail on here about the F1 Aura system and the Martin guitars. Yes, that was a great system. Yes, that still is a great system compared to other companies, because no one's really pushing the boundaries with acoustic right now. But I know for a fact those parts are very limited. So what are you going to do if it dies? Are you okay with having the holes in the guitar when you pull it out? At least if you put something like an Anthem in there, I mean, the Anthem will probably be around for years and years and years. Well, we don't know how many years the Anthem will be around, but certainly more years than the F1 Aura Plus system that was only in Martin guitars will be around. So bear that in mind. If you do find a Variax acoustic and you want to buy it, make sure it works really well, and make sure you're happy to lose that money if the thing dies on you. Lee's at work. What have I missed? Lee, we in the last half an hour, we revealed the secret to the best Martin tone with no skill required. And you missed it. And I'm going to delete the video now. Bing. No, you're good, buddy. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you from Austria. Great. Vienna. Vienna. If I could just stop these planes flying overhead, I'd be perfect here. Poo Ninja has 13, including 2 basses. Who needs a bass? Seriously, I've got one. That's one too many. I'm just kidding, bass fans. I need a nice acoustic, an SSS pickup, and I'll have a better understanding of what else I need. Or what have I started? Alan, how you doing, Alan? Good to see you. David Belcher, have you seen the Lava Me carbon fiber smart guitar? Interesting little guitars. Yes, I have. So when I saw the first review of those, I thought, okay, there are companies that are pushing the boundaries. This is carbon fiber with a touchscreen, like an iPhone stuck on the side, that does looping and the sounds in the room from the guitar, all that futuristic, crazy, wacky stuff. The problem I have with that guitar is, where the Variax acoustic is something I thought I could actually take this out and use it live and it would be a real problem solver. The Lava Me 3 doesn't really seem to solve problems for me live, right? So when I'm playing live, I wouldn't want that guitar because I don't want a touchscreen. I don't want all the gimmicky. Yeah, that's the word. I hate to say it, but I find that for a gigging musician, that might be a bit gimmicky. As someone that's learning or playing at home, it might be great. For that reason, I wasn't like, desperate to buy one. I did reach out to them, asked if they want me to review it, but they said no. So I said, okay, fine. And I was glad that happened, because then I saw several other reviews where they didn't like the product. And that was also happening around a time when I started to think to myself, you know what? I don't really want people to send me stuff to review anymore, because I don't like feeling obligated. I don't like, I'm talking very candidly today. I like it. I don't want the feeling of I don't like this thing and I want to send it back. I must have done that with 50% of the things that I was sent to review. And B, I don't want to feel obligated to, when I review it, to say good things. Not saying that I would, but as a human being, there's always that thing, isn't there, of I didn't actually buy this thing. It works a lot better when you buy something and then you have bought it with your own money and you're much more passionate in the way you talk about it, I feel. So any reviews coming up soon will be that way, and I think you'll see it in the reviews. Also, it works the other way when something goes wrong, because no one's really mentioned this, and I thought about this the other day. I have a wireless system that died on me. It really let me down on the gig on Saturday. Really let me down. I was playing a paid gig and it died. And this is a professional. I won't tell you which one it is yet. I might make a video about it. But this is a professional system that I've raved about. And it died on me. And I thought to myself, let's go back and see if other people have reported on this. Because this has happened to me twice now with different units of the same system. I went back and they're all just positive sponsored reviews. So the problem I have with that is that, and I'm not saying you shouldn't pay people to make videos. I'm all for it because I have to pay for all this equipment that I bought, right? It's fine. But if you send me something to review and pay me to review it, and I love it, and I want to make the video because I love it, and I say this is great, and I come on here, and then obviously every month after that, when you ask for recommendations, I'm going to recommend that thing because I loved it and I tried it. What happens when it doesn't work well? What happens when you have to make a video because it's the right thing to do, where you say, look, I had a problem with this and you should be wary of this fact that I had a problem. You may or may not, but I made a video that was sponsored telling you to buy this thing, and now I'm actually having some real issues. I don't know. And then again, maybe as someone that worked with the company, they'll just give you another one. That could be a possibility. But how about me as the customer, like trying to get this thing fixed or replaced? That's going to really change the review that I would make again. You know what I mean? So that was just a little YouTube rant, but I've heard of the Lava Meat. I've seen the videos. I've not heard of anyone that actually bought one and told me how great it is. So I have to take my hat off to them for making something innovative, because I've just told you last week that I want to see more of that. But at the same time, I don't think it's something that would interest me as for something that I would use day to day. Let's just say that. It's a sonotone undersaddle. It does have a quack, but not near as bad as other pickups. But I kind of wanted that sound. Yeah, you know what? That's fine, old metal dude. Some people want that sound. I've come to realize that as well. And that's absolutely fine. It's not where I'm at. I do like the Fishman Matrix by itself. And I think you could probably switch that sonotone for the Matrix if you really wanted to. But like you said, if you're happy with that sound, if you're processing it in some way or whatever, then that's fine. But I guess that guitar we just looked at looks so modern and cool. And it just kind of, for me, I just wished the pickup had as much kind of attention given to it. At least maybe a microphone in there, you know, or a body sensor or something just to... I feel like pickups are still the same now as they were 20 years ago in a lot of models. And I don't like that, personally. Bigger strap required for what? Sorry. So when you put your replies, what I've just said, try to put what I said as well, because otherwise I don't remember. Sorry. Jim says the padded pedal room, and Pooh, how do you explain why you need so many guitars with the wife? I'll let them answer that. Lewis says, we back, baby. Francis said, I am lucky my wife is cool. She even bought me my beautiful Telecaster. The other option is send her shoe shopping with your card. Yeah, if you buy her a bag, then all is forgiven. Whatever guitar comes next won't matter. You can tick one off. Problem is those bags will cost as much as the guitars. How many guitars are enough? 3 classicals, spruce, cedar and maple, 4 steel strings, rosewood mahogany, all mahogany, triple O with cut and pickup, and the versatile electric HSS Strat. In your opinion? Yeah, Rosanna, we did that already. Well, I said infinity plus one. Infinity plus one is enough. That's not mine. That's Rosanna's, not mine. Lewis says, you're right about that, Aaron. It's a blessing to have one body, so it's up to us to take care of it. Well, it is true. You know, whereas with a guitar, you can keep having it repaired, and eventually you could, if you had to, you could throw it away and buy another one. You can't do that with your voice. They're talking about my thing about looks now. The correct thing is to judge people based on competence, but reality is we are judged by external looks and characteristics all the time. Yes. Always one more. What's the cheapest nylon guitar you recommend? Do Yamaha make nylon string guitars, acoustics as well? If they do, I'd recommend one of those if you're asking me. But you're not, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm starting to learn that it's normal for people to judge and doubt you. That's human nature. We have to learn that what's important is if you love yourself. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, no, not everybody. I started the show today talking about that company, right? I got really messed over by a company on Etsy buying one of those lamps because one arrived that was clearly defective, and they said it's not, it's normal. I said, what's broken? How's this? And I know it's not normal because the other one wasn't like that. And they said, fine, send it back, pay to ship it back, and we'll give you a refund. And I said, well, first of all, why should I pay to ship it back? Second of all, I was actually going to get something else from you, but now I don't want to. All right, so then the other company just offered to replace change the switch for me and send me a bulb, and don't think they're even going to charge me. Like I said, I don't know. Perhaps I'll get a bill for $100 as well. But you know, it's just my point with that is everyone's different. I'm not bothered anymore because everyone does that and it's normal. What's not normal is someone actually believing in their dreams, but it's up to you. Yeah, like I said, in my experience, some people do and some people don't. And I think lately people are more supportive because of the whole freelancer YouTube thing. Remember like 20 years ago, someone said, what do you do? And you say, I want to be a musician, or I'm a musician. And they're like, really? You make money from that? Enjoy yourself on live streams. Time flies. It does for me, yeah. I can't believe I've been on today for 40 minutes. It's nuts. I love it. 12 is the correct number of guitars. Everyone's opinions are very different, aren't they, on how many guitars is enough? It's crazy. Ed Sheeran doesn't look like Justin Bieber, but I love his music. But he looks good now. He's lost a lot of weight. See that? He lost a lot of weight a while ago. He looks really good. And yeah, you're right. With him, it's really about the songs and the personality. Yes, I agree. This is a whole nother side conversation we're having here about what's important for a working musician. Okay, a Variax acoustic 700 for £750. So that's about right. So you need to look. The one that I had in the review was really, really good condition. It was really mint. So, like I said, just bear in mind, Rafa, that if you do buy that guitar and if it does break on you, I don't think you can get some of those parts ever again. So what are you going to do with it? You can't, at least with the Martins, you can pull it out and use that as a sound port. But with the Variax, you're completely stuffed. So, you know, that's okay. I've bought gear like that myself where I knew that could be the case, and I've just made peace with myself. And at the end of the day, some products like a Quad Cortex or a Kemper eventually may be in the same position, right? But just bear that in mind. I think it's worth bearing that stuff in mind. Old Metal Dude, thank you so much. This is great. I'm feeling the love today. I really appreciate it. Lewis says, I agree with feeling light. I can't perform feeling weighed down, like being, well, especially if you're dancing or moving or anything. I just find naturally when I'm less weight, I just move more. When I first moved to America, I got down really low. I got down to 180 pounds, which I think is probably too low for me. As someone who's 6'4.5", 6'5", I think I should probably be about 210, 220. But I did feel very comfortable, very light. You know, it was cool, but it was probably too low for me. And then in the pandemic, I went up to about 274, which is crazy. 240 at lockdown, 274, my biggest in the lockdown. And now I'm about 252, trying to get back down to 240 as soon as I can. And then maybe down to 220. Would I recommend the Yamaha Nylon Silent? Yes, no, yes, no. I haven't played one. I have the steel one, and I think it's amazing for no feedback and carrying around. But I don't think it actually sounds that great. And I've used it a few times. I've used it in the apartment through an amp, but I didn't think it sounded great. I've used it tried to use it at some gigs. I feel like those silent guitars are perfect for playing on like a wedding band. If you've got electric guitarists playing and you want to play and sing. So I have that because it looks so minimal and it's light and won't feed back. I feel like as a band leader that sings, it'd be great to play that because I don't dance around or anything on stage. I always play a guitar, but it never sounded that great to me. I have heard other people make it sound great, so maybe it's me. But I just think, again, they're really old, right? The technology is really old. But like I said, I haven't tried the nylon. It might be better. The steel one for me, I'm a bit like, I don't love it. I think I prefer the Acoustasonic actually. I think I would take the Acoustasonic, but my Acoustasonic just needs to be fixed up a little bit. But I think the Acoustasonic for those modern out there guitars is where it's at. Maybe the Godans, but I haven't played one of them for a long time. Lee says, now you can see why I love my wife. And I'm just looking down the chat where Lee says, I've just ordered a D45. Yep, there we go. Me and David, we think alike. Oh dear. I always feel like buying is a solution. Then I realize I bought the wrong thing and have to buy something else. It's pretty interesting thoughts. Well, buying stuff is fun. It's fun to hit that order button. It's fun to have the shipment arrive. It's fun to open the box. And then sometimes it doesn't work out and it's stressful because you've got to return it or you've got to sell it on, lose money probably. And let's face it, if you want me to be really honest with you, it's more about what you do, isn't it? We can make incredible content with our iPhone. We can make incredible music with a $200 guitar. All this other stuff, buying the gear is just, it's fun. It's like Christmas, isn't it? It's like a birthday, Christmas. It's treating ourselves. Some gear we do need to own, obviously. If you're doing a wedding band and you have to provide PA, you need to buy a PA system. So there we go. But like with me, I did come to realize that a lot of stuff I just want. I want to try it. I want to try something. Like with that Variax acoustic, I wanted to try it, and it did impress me. And I did think for a second, this could be a great thing for me to use at my shows because of the tunings. But then I had to think to myself, I had to take one more step back again, which I've learned to do now. And do I really love the tone of it over my Cole Clark? No. Am I really going to use the other tunings? No, I don't really use them. Yes, I might use them now and again, but is it really worth the risk of this guitar not being repairable and also not sounding as good as another one to go and buy one myself? No, probably not. So they used to say freeze your credit card. We can't do that now. We just buy stuff with our Apple Watch. But get to the point where you can take another step back. So you get the first step is, I want that thing. I'm going to get one right now. The second step might be, do I really want it? But then take yet another step back. Like, am I actually going to use it? Am I going to use this thing? Or is it going to sit in a case on the shelf? Because that's just complete waste. I know that the thing is, Lewis, you have guitars already and a ukulele, right? So I think you're good for now. Just keep practicing the songs. Any Yamaha with solid top, laminated back and sides should be good. Yeah, get the 9. I still say I don't connect with Yamaha as a brand, but they are still the ones I recommend the most to everybody because of the quality and value you get. So I would definitely start by looking there. Old Metal Dude, thank you for the super chat. I do agree with you on the innovation of pickups. I will look into the Matrix, but I'm happy with it into the Fender Acoustic Junior. Hey, like I said, that's the thing with gear. If you're happy with the sound that you're getting, then don't listen to anybody else, not me or anyone, okay? That's all that matters. Only listen to me if you're finding you're not satisfied, because that's the place that I came from. I wasn't satisfied. And was that because people on forums told me I wasn't? Maybe it was. So remember that. I've sold 4 guitars lately without buying a new one. Proud. I tried to stay in single digits or 10 max. Yeah, so I sold, as you know, I've been selling guitars, and I've sold a lot of guitars. I have bought a few as well. You haven't seen them yet. Same kind of thing, really. I wanted to get some stuff. I've been trying to look at, like I said earlier, what do I actually need? What will I use at gigs or on the stream? And I've been steer myself towards those things. And also, I don't want to just be like, look, here's a new guitar and I love it and it's wonderful and it's great. I don't like that approach anymore. I want to be like, I've had this for a few months and I really like it. I've also found a few things that I don't like or you should consider, but this is something that I'm actually sticking with, and it's not just a kind of a one-night gear stand, right? No, the Variax electric you can still buy. So if you want to buy a Variax electric, then go ahead, all right? Because you have your warranty with it. And buy it, yeah, I would buy a new one. Yes, I would. But the Variax acoustic 700s, the acoustic ones, no. Just either get one for a great price, like £400, £500, or get one where you can really test it out and make sure it looks like it's all functioning, and also be aware that that might stop working. But we got to clarify what we're talking about here. The Variax bass and the Variax acoustic are no longer in production, but the Variax electrics you're still good with. I feel like they might phase them out eventually, but they're still making them today, so you should be good for at least a few more years. Thomas Moore said, of all the places in the USA, why did I pick New York City? Well, I wasn't meant to come here originally. I was supposed, my original plan was, my sponsor for my artist visa was in New York. So my original plan was to come to New York for like a week or two, or a few weeks or a month or something, and just hang out with them and chat with them and whatever, and then move on to either California, Nashville, one of the music cities, or maybe like Chicago. I love Chicago. That was the original plan, Thomas. But the thing is, I was so lucky when I got here. I literally got here with my mini Maton and my suitcase, and I thought, right, what am I going to do? I just rented the room, and I had no job, no income. I went on Craigslist, and I found a gig every Thursday. I went to every jam, every open mic, and I met some people that threw work my way, which I'm forever grateful for, and also some bars that gave me opportunities. And I found a job teaching music as well with kids. So before I knew it, I had loads of opportunity, loads of work. I was great. I left England having like 3 or 4 gigs a week, and I arrived in America. And after a few weeks, I had 3 or 4 gigs a week. So what did I do then? I thought, do I really want to risk it all again and move again and look for work? I thought, nah, I'm not that brave. I've already left a full-time job, career, and gigs and everything, life in England to come here. I feel like I should stay here because it feels like it's the right thing to do. And my sponsor's here, everything's here, so why not just stay here? And I've been here ever since. So I love traveling. I love going to, when we go down to Nashville for NAMM, I usually fly out to NAMM by myself in California. I'm not going this year. I need to work, need to save some money. But I love traveling. I love going to see my brothers in Chicago and Pittsburgh, and going on road trips in the car. But New York is good. I'm actually surprised, because being in London for 9 years, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm kind of sick of it now. I'm ready to go. And I thought that would just be like a 10-year itch. I thought 10 years in New York would do that to me as well. We have considered going somewhere else, but the thing is, it is good. It is good. Like I'm going to teach someone tonight at 7. I'm going to walk to their house and then walk home. I'm going to do a gig. All the gigs this week, I'm taking the train to all of them. I don't need to drive anywhere. It's very easy. There's all these weird kind of things that come up as well, like wedding proposals and kids' birthday parties and assisted living home. I was going to say old people's home, but assisted living home. There's real random jobs that come up in a place like New York. So it's good. And if it all goes wrong, if I have nothing, I feel I can take my guitar and go and play on the subway and at least pay the bills. So I feel I sing better when I'm slightly over 80 kilograms than when I'm under. Oh, interesting. Well, they do say that weight affects the voice, and let's not forget people like Pavarotti. You might say that the extra mass gives them the certain resonance, in the same way you might argue that a heavy guitar has more resonance. So I'm not against that thought. Your voice definitely changes when you change the diet. I do think having a clear voice is important. My voice hasn't been that clear for a while, and that's another reason why I'm eating clean right now. You get this stuff called candida in the body. If you get too much, it can work its way around the vocal cords and you get a lot of mucus there. You know what I might do? I might go for another vocal scan in a few weeks' time and then share the results on the channel, because that stuff can be very interesting. I can get a copy of the video where they scope the throat, and I can show you what the vocal cords, what my vocal cords look like and that stuff. That could be an interesting video, actually. I might even do a whole video on that, but it's all personal, isn't it? It's all a personal thing. I'm not saying that everyone should be skinny and thin and eating, salads. Or I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I personally want to be lighter than I am now. I gained a lot of weight in the lockdown, and you're saying you prefer to be slightly heavier. Yeah, it's all personal. And do take note of how it affects the voice as well, because your voice will change as your body changes. John said, I rarely play electric guitar, but have three, a Strat, a Tele, and ES335. I rarely gig now, but I have cedar over rosewood, Addy over mahogany, Sitka over rosewood, and all mahogany. Cool. Yeah, no, I get that. You can't beat a Strat, like an SSS Strat, a Tele, and an ES335. That's a great combination to have. And then maybe like a Dread and a small body acoustic. Then you're kind of covering all the bases, aren't you? Lee says, I have 2 more guitars in mind. I'm just watching away. I wonder what they are. It's the OM42 still, right? Let me just adjust this. I actually don't need to wear these, do I? If I'm just talking, I don't even need to wear in-ears. Lewis says, Aaron, what I'd be like to see, the essential items that are not new, but they stand the test of time. The ones you can't live without, like the guitar tune I really want to try. Yeah, I love it. I've got it right here on my desk. Yeah, that would be a great video, wouldn't it? What are my absolute go-to essentials? Again, not go-to essentials maybe for everybody, but what are my personal go-to essentials? Yes, I will definitely try to make that video. I just remember the Helix has a polycapo over the occasional song of everyone. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best. And none of those things are. The Variax does the tuning a lot better, the capo, than the hardware ones do. I haven't tried the Digitech drop pedal. I'd like to try that. And a lot of those guys are doing the technology in the Helix now. But they always have some sort of artifact, some latency. If it was for one song, like you say, I'd probably do it. But I don't think... I might use it in a band. I think I'd probably steer away from it. Also, those poly capo things don't work well with acoustic guitars. For some reason, they sound better with electric guitars than acoustic guitars. And I never knew why. All I can surmise is that they're tuning the algorithms to an electric, because that's who their target audience is. I never had good results with them with acoustic guitars. Oh, I knew BMO would come back to me because I dissed his Precious Aura Plus. It still impresses me. If it does break, I can fix it, or Fishman can. It is replaceable with a Takamine preamp as a last resort. Yeah, that's what I mean though. Fishman I don't think... The last thing I heard off the record is that Fishman don't have the parts anymore. What you could do is you could buy a cheap... If you really loved it and wanted to bring it back to life, is you could buy a cheap and used guitar that has the same system and rip it out and put it into your guitar. Yes. You might be able to fix it if it's something like a cable. Yes. And there might even be a part, to be fair, there might be a part in the future which is the same from Fishman and you can reuse it, right? Who knows? But I'm just putting it out there. I've heard the same thing about the V guitars, the V Strats, Fender Strats too, right? They don't make the parts anymore. A last resort, a Takamine preamp, yeah. Or you could just cut a big hole in the side and put an Anthem stage or something, right? Yeah, it's all good. And don't forget, I wasn't kidding before. You can also take that out and to have a sound port, like 3 holes that can be the sound port in the side of the guitar. It might actually sound really good. I usually use an app until you told me to get in the habit of tuning my guitar ahead of time. Now I want the portable tuner like when you recommend. So get the clip-on one. Get the Peterson clip-on. Don't the big one that I love is very expensive. Okay, so you don't need that. You want this one, 70 bucks. Get this one. This is great. Peterson Strobo Clip HD high definition clip-on strobe tuner, $70. Still a decent amount of money, but really, 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 really great. And that will just clip onto any instrument, even your ukulele. Just use it in the acoustic guitar mode, and don't worry about the other tunings for now. Just put it on, use it as a strobe tuner. It's just great. This is if I had to choose one, I would hate to choose one of the Petersons because they're all really good, but this is the one I'd get because it will just clip on any guitar, right? So check that out. I don't think you can buy from Sweetwater in Canada, but you can order it from Long and McQuaid. I'm sorry to hear this, and I'm hearing this a lot lately. It's scaring me. At the moment, I have been purchasing and trading guitars because age is kicking in and I'm beginning to have arthritis in my hand. So certain neck profiles don't agree with me anymore. This is something I've been very aware of lately because I've heard a few people say they've had hand problems. And bear this in mind if you play the guitar as well. So I used to like fairly high action because the fact that I am so big and tall, and I naturally play very heavy. So I usually have my action quite high to reduce buzzing. But I've come to realize lately that I don't want to have problems later on either. So I've actually started getting my action really low on all my guitars. All my guitars now, I just want low action. I don't want to work on playing hard. I don't want to overwork, I mean. And I also don't want to get hand problems in the future. So do bear that in mind. If your guitar is really hard to play, then bear in mind that you don't want to be like overdoing it. And I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, that is something that we'll probably all have to face, these kind of injuries and possible injuries in the future. It kind of goes along with playing a lot of guitar, I guess, sitting down, and especially if you're practicing a lot and going over technical things a lot. I'd say the most important thing is make sure whatever guitar you have is easy to play, right? I mean, I have a Dreadnought with 13s and I love it, but I'm not going to sit and play on that thing for 6 hours every day because even if I can do it, it's going to cause problems in the future, or it may cause problems in the future. I'm going to play my Strat with a really low action where it's kind of buzzing. I don't care. I don't want to cause any injury. I don't want to make my risk any injury. So, you know what I'm saying? If your guitars are hard to play, then get them either lower the action, lower the gauge, right? Just do it. Like I know a lot of Martin fans say you have to use 13s on a Dread. If you don't, you're not getting the tone. It's not right. And yes, you can. I have done it. I've lowered the action. I've practiced a lot and got to the stage where 13s feel fine. But if your guitar has 13s and high action, you're starting to feel any kind of pains, the first thing I would do is put 12s on there. Heck, if you're practicing on the guitar all the time, every day, why not put 10s on there, right? Why make life difficult? I read something interesting the other day. I read that Noel Gallagher uses 12, I don't know if this is true, uses 12 gauge strings on his electric for recording, and then he uses 10 gauge strings live. This is electric, by the way. So he wants that really fat sound when he records, and obviously he's just recording quickly here and there, or a few months, whatever. When he's on tour playing night after night after night, he just uses 10s to make life easier. And interesting thought. So do bear those things in mind as well. David says, I'm at the stage in life too. Thin necks don't work well. Yeah, the next thing is really interesting. Really interesting. People always told me these Rain Song N2 necks are too fat, so I thought they were. Now I actually find it quite comfortable. I'd like to try the M1, but I'm okay with the N2. I like the Martin Standard Series necks, I think, because I'm used to them. I've played some guitars with really thin necks, like the Wizard Ibanez necks that I just loved. I didn't play it long term though, which is why, again, I said the long-term reviews are important. But I love the neck on them. I've also played some guitars with fat necks that I hated. Like I had the Fender Ed O'Brien Strat, and what a great Strat that was. But the neck was way too big for me. At the same time, I see what you mean. When you gig a lot or play a lot on a guitar with a really thin neck, and you've got big hands like me, you can start to feel some pain. So it's a weird thing, isn't it? I think for that reason, I kind of like medium necks. Not too thin, not too fat. I also think it's what you get used to, though. I've been playing the Cole Clark for about 3 months. I honestly still prefer the neck on the Martin Standard series, but I just think it's because I played them for years and years and years and years and years. And I've definitely liked the Cole Clark neck a lot more now than I used to. It's kind of similar. It's not fat though. It's not super skinny, but it's kind of a bit like the Standard Series Martins in a way. But obviously there's differences because it's Cole Clark and not a Martin. But I think I'm much more used to it now. I think a lot of this becomes what you get used to as well. Amanda Coombs is here. How you doing, Amanda? Good to see you. It's very brave and resourceful. Again, I'm sorry, I forgot what we were talking about. Same here. My favorite Strat I have had since 1998. I cannot play anymore. Neck is too thin. Interesting. Well, I've decided lately I don't like heavy guitars. I want all my guitars to be under £8. And if I find a guitar that's like £7 or under, I'm really interested. There was a Masterbuilt Strat on Music Zoo the other day that's under £7, and I was really interested, but I didn't love the finish. One day I'm going to get a Masterbuilt, but I didn't love the finish on it. But I was like, £6 something, yes. I don't really want a guitar, so I'm very guilty now. I'm talking about electrics mainly, but I'm very guilty now of like looking at electric guitar specs and be like, what's the weight? And all these Fender Strats now are like £8, £8. I don't really want that. I'm really lucky because the Pro 2 Strat I have is like low to mid £7, which is great. And my HSS Strat is low sevens. It's great. I love it. And then the neck shape, that's such a big conversation because some people want all their necks to be exactly the same. I don't. I get it. But for me, the thing I don't like, the thing I like the least is those really huge U-shaped baseball necks. And even on the Silver Sky, I didn't like the neck on the American Silver Sky. I sold that one actually. I really wanted to like that guitar. I'm a big John Mayer fan. I wanted to like the USA Silver Sky. I did not like the neck on it. I tried to make it work. Then with the import version, the neck's actually better for me. It's satin and it's kind of thinner. So I much enjoy that neck. I love that guitar. Then I thought to myself, I did what I told you to do earlier. I took a step back and thought, right, you want to love the American Silver Sky, but you don't. You quite love, or you very much like the import guitar. It's light, it's got a great neck. But are you going to use it? I thought, no, if I'm really honest with myself, no, I'm not. I'm going to play my Fender, then I'm going to play my HSS, and then I'm going to play maybe something else. So I don't have either of those two guitars anymore. And that makes me sad, but I do think if they made a Silver Sky USA in the future with a slim neck, and I found a light one, I'd probably get another one, but mostly because I like John Mayer. That doesn't seem right to me either. You know what I mean? Lewis says, I'll be honest, I stopped practicing. It was a lot easier having the weekly lessons, so I was so spoiled. But coming back here talking guitars, I'm truly grateful. Yeah, you know, it happens. I have a couple of students now that are paying me for lessons, and sometimes they haven't practiced as much as we would like. Either actually sitting and doing the thing is the hardest thing for a lot of people. I get it. But just try to do something, right? Just try to. I can't tell you to do that. It's got to be your own decision. Dave Pounds, good to see you, Dave. Being a gearhead is dangerous. I finally sold 5 guitars I had to have but never used, so I didn't mess them. Yeah, I've done that too. I've bought guitars that I just wanted to own, but I didn't use them. I've realized that too. I just need to know that I own that guitar. I'm a bit like that with Martin as well. I need to know I own a really great Martin, but at the end of the day, most of the time I'm out playing the Cole Clark on stage. Yeah, just the way it is. But I need to know I have that guitar. And I've had that with some other guitars. I've also bought, as you noticed throughout the last few years, I've rebought guitars that I thought I should not have sold and needed to have. It turns out with a lot of those I didn't need them at all. So, and yet I still do it. You know, there's still guitars in my mind that if they came up, I'd probably want to buy it just to try it again to see if I do miss it. But that's not really good. That's kind of a waste of money, isn't it? If it doesn't work out. It's the community that gets me fired up. Yes, community, that's nice. It's just nice to sit and chat with everyone, isn't it? And get everyone's opinions on different things. I like that. I didn't like chunky necks when I was younger, but now it seems that's my preference. You know, things do change as we get older too. I didn't used to think I liked the narrow nut width, and now I'm fine with it. So, I get it. Electric guitar. Yeah. Again, you're in Canada, so maybe look at the affordable Yamaha guitars. No, I'm finally gonna make that Harley Benton review, Lewis. I don't really recommend it. Not really. I do and I don't. The one that I got that's like $375, I would recommend it, but I had to do a lot of work to it. I'll put this in the video. Watch out for that video. I'm gonna make that video and sell those two guitars. If you want to get a decent electric, even though I don't connect with them at all, get the Yamaha, the one that's like $500, $700. They just made the Revstar. I bet you'd like those. Apparently they're amazing. I haven't tried them, but I just know that anything Yamaha $500 is amazing. So at the end of the day, a $1,000 Revstar is going to be incredible. And I think you'd like it. Let me show them to you. I think this is right up your alley too. See, these are the new Revstars. Now, these ones that are $2,000 are the Japanese-made ones. Okay, that's always the case with Yamaha when they're Japanese-made, and I'm sure they're wonderful. But you can also get one for $800. You can also get one for $500. See, this one's $500. If you're really serious, I'd probably go for the one that's like $800. I'd probably go for maybe something like, well, I'd like to go for this one, but obviously that's probably out of your budget. Something like this. I bet that $500 one is amazing. But if you can pay a bit more, I would probably look to get maybe something like, it depends what pickups you want as well. We'd have to do a chat about that. But something like this is what I would go for. $800. I bet it's incredible. I bet it plays great, feels great. You know, it's not really a guitar that works for me looks wise. I mean, I don't hate it. Actually, to be honest with you, now I'm looking at it, I quite like it. But I like the guitars I have. The more I look at this guitar, the more I want to get one. But my point is, I'd rather you got this or another Yamaha in this price range, $500 to $800. They have like Strat style guitars too. I'd rather you got something like that than the Harley Benton. And from a dealer like Sweetwater, where they'll back you up, because Sweetwater are great at backing up the customers, right? Lee wants the John Martin and the Alice's restaurant guitars. Nice. When do I think my new guitar video will drop? Which one? The Martin that you had, the Martin I haven't reviewed yet? Probably this week. Probably this week. I'm back on track now. I did the Variax last week because I had to ship it out again, so that's gone. And then this week, probably the guitar you're waiting for. Yeah, probably. The local country guitar has a 2010 Martin Clapton for sale for $3,000. Is this a good or bad price? Well, there's a few things to consider here. First of all, my first question is, how much are they brand new? Okay, so let me jump over here. Brand new now with the current prices, $3,800. So it's $800 less. Okay, that's a good point. It's 2010. That can be a good point or a bad point. If you like guitars that are played in and not brand new sounding, that's a good point. If you like guitars that are your own and have no dings or dents or fretwear, that's a different matter. And then if you do want the older guitar, does it have fretwear? Are you going to have to spend money on having things repaired? With acoustic guitars, there can always be things like cracked cracked bridges, but also cracked, inside, bracing, things like that. And I always think it's hard to check those out on acoustic. So I don't know. With the current market, a lot of people are asking for full price for their Martin guitars, almost. And I don't agree with that. But I'm thinking for me, I would probably want to buy the new one for $38, honestly. But if I knew the seller and I got to check it out and they gave me proof that everything was fine with it, maybe an independent luthier checked it over, I think $3,000 is good. but just be wary of those things that I mentioned. Yeah, it's not a steal. It's not like it's $2,000. Yeah, okay, buy it right now. It's like $3,000. Okay, that's good, but you don't have the warranty with Martin. You don't know if you don't know the seller, you don't know what it's been through. With acoustic guitars, they're obviously by definition more fragile than electric guitars. There's a lot of things to consider there. So just bear those things in mind. It's a good deal depending on what the actual guitar is like in person. And also bear in mind, I'm veering on the edge of caution because I don't want to say yes and then you have a problem with it. So do take that into consideration as well. Lisa says, I'm primarily a singer, but 2 acoustics, 3 electrics, 1 bass, clarinet, alto, and tenor sax. See, there's still a lot of instruments, isn't it? This all comes from the other day, often I think to myself, could I just have 1 electric and 1 acoustic? When I moved here to America, I had 1 acoustic, 1 electric. That's right, actually. I brought my suitcase, my Mini Maiden acoustic, and my Telecaster Fender. That's all I had. And a few cables and a tuner, whatever, your picks, strings, whatever. But sometimes I think to myself, was that okay? Was that enough? Can I do that again? Could I have 1 acoustic, 1? And then you think, well, I need a backup because I'm professional now. I do this for a living, so I need to have 2 acoustics and 2 electrics. And then I do need to have, the guitar for travel. So then I do need to have a humbucker and then you end up having like 10 guitars on your mind. So that's the problem. Yeah, I get what you're saying, David, but it's hard to get a discount right now. Also, by the way, the Sunburst Clapton is $4,000. That would be a good deal. I just feel like the natural color one, I don't know. I may do it. I have bought used. I bought the Cole Clark used. It worked out great, but I knew the seller. And even then, you have like worries of like what happened in shipping, all this kind of stuff. So the fact of the matter is, I'm being more cautious because it's not my money when you ask me that question. I would just want to know more about it. You've got to see pictures, maybe video, maybe see it in person, all these things, right? Oh, I buy from Sweetwater in Canada, but I had them shipped certain instruments to a New York address. Import tax for a Dropbox. Oh, okay. Oh, import myself for a Dropbox from a Dropbox. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they ship to Canada, do they? Old Metal Dude has a HD28 0015 SM Taylor Big Baby, 2 ESP electrics, Sire ES305, Ibanez Strat, and Friedman JJ Jr. and Super Crush 100 Boggle 212. Now, okay, here's the thing, Old Metal Dude. If you get out of breath reading out the list of gear, you've probably got too much. No, I'm just kidding. To avoid injury, stretching. Tony Policastro has a great video. It must be 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, I always did that with my keyboard students back in England. Before every lesson, we did this one this way, this one this way, on the other hand, and then this way. And I try to get students to do it now. I don't think they ever do. This is the kind of thing that we learn later on, right? That we should do this later on. We don't see the relevance earlier on. But what I tell people is this. If you do the stretches that I advise, so what it is you spread apart these 2 fingers and then these 2 fingers and then so you spread them apart, right? So you feel the stretch. Obviously hold it longer, hold it for 10 seconds, count to 10. And then go this way. So I'm just doing the left hand, right? And then go the other way. Again, 10 seconds each. And then the whole wrist each way. And then a quick massage. And then shake them out. I already feel this hand is looser than this one, even just doing that for those few seconds. And if I did it for the 10 seconds I advised, it'd be completely different. And then you feel it. This one feels really heavy and stiff compared to this one. It feels much more nimble. Yeah, try that. Good to see you. I still watch Phil McKnight, but sometimes I have to watch the replays. when I get home from the show. I'm playing on Fridays at the moment. Amanda moderates at Phil's channel. Great channel. Lewis, I don't have an electric. That's what I have in my mind. Yeah, it's good to practice on electric too, because they are easier to play by definition, right? The Gino Legacy weighs 6.5 pounds. See, I like that. That's good. That's very light. Gear gets you excited. And I am excited because the NAMM show is in 4 weeks. Also is WWDC for Apple. So we'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure. I don't think there'll be loads of new gear released at NAMM, and I'm not going. But I'm sure it'll be stuff that we can talk about and look at on pictures and things on the web. So that should be a good time. How do you use your electric guitar when playing solo? Well, I don't, but I see that a lot of people do. I'm a fan of Jeff Buckley. He used to play electric guitar solo. I think if you have a really good amp stimulator, and a lot of them are not very good in my opinion, but if you get a really good one with really good IRs and really good effects, and you get a really fat sound, maybe a Telecaster with like 11s on it or something, I think that then you can use it. But I just think the whole thing with acoustic for me is not only that acoustic tone, but also the body sounds too. That's why I don't use guitars much that just have an undersaddle pickup. Not just because I don't prefer the sound of that, because I don't get any body sounds. I like that. I like when the guitar is alive and you can scratch on it and drum on it. And I want it to be. Don't forget, an acoustic guitar essentially is a drum, right? It's a big drum. There's even a drum called the walkabout where they took the body of an acoustic guitar with 3 pickups in it and you walk around playing it like a drum. That's why I like it, and that's why I would use it. I have occasionally played like electric on my stream. I don't think it sounds quite as good. I think I can dial it in to sound better, maybe sound good in a way. I'd love to use that for certain songs, but when I'm doing a solo acoustic show, I like to play a real acoustic. Yeah, the Revstar with the P90s. Yeah. They do look cool, and the reviews are all very good. Even though they are all sponsored, I guess, they're still the reviews are very good. Yeah, well, no, I haven't got time to talk about Harley Benton today, but those guitars were incredibly impressive out of the box for the money, and then a bit of a pain in the butt for a while, having to get them fixed up, clean the frets up, all that stuff. They did pay to have the job done of like fixing the jack input. That's great, but I just think it's not something that you want to go through. I think you want to get an instrument, especially as a beginner, but even not as a beginner, I think you want your guitar to show up and you just take it out of the box and you start playing. So I'm not going to recommend those for now. I will try them again in future sometime if people tell me different, but I think they're really for people that want to get a cheap guitar and mod it themselves. And I don't think you want to do that, Lewis. Jim says, been this guitar thing for only 3 years and never have I picked up or played an electric. Wow. Yes, you are. You know, people think I only play acoustic. I play electric all the time at home. I love it. In fact, I think I play more. So like right now, if I take this week as an example, the thing I love the most is to go to a gig and play my Cole Clark through the PA. Unfortunately, not always as loud as I'd like to because of restaurants and things, but I love it when I can turn the acoustic up. Not super loud, but just so I can feel it a bit. Acoustic guitar. And then at home, I actually rarely reach for the acoustic unless I'm learning a song that is on acoustic and I want to hear it in the room while I sing. I actually usually grab an electric guitar and plug it directly into the amp. I made a small pedal board for weddings, but I don't even get it out. I just plug a really good guitar into a really good tube amp, and I love that. The amp has to have reverb, but in my opinion, if you've got a great tube amp with built-in reverb and a really good guitar with good pickups, and you plug it straight in, I'll backtrack it back a little bit here. That almost is like playing acoustic because you get such a fat, big sound. Like I said, I wouldn't use it on stage because I want the other stuff, but I find that sound really big. You can't beat it. And I don't get that sound through the modelers. You know, yes, I can use in-ears and get a good sound, a good sound, but the feel of the amp in the room for me does get me closer to like an acoustic guitar in the room would. And that's why I like it, I think. So yes, Jim, I think you should. In fact, maybe there's a video there, right? What electric guitar should acoustic guitarists buy first? That could be a good idea. The Boss amp, what was that? I don't remember anymore. The Katana. Yeah, the Katana, because it'll be a great all-rounder, and you can, you know, if you do buy a tube amp in the future, the Katana can be the backup. Yes. So most of my guitars, says John, are at least 20 years old, 40 to 50, and have a variety of neck shapes, nut widths, and scale lengths. There you go. So John likes a big selection of everything. T is here. Hey guys, the 3800, is that including tax? No. 3800 plus tax from Sweetwater. Yes. So the way it was working for a while is all the stores were doing full price because there was such a lack of inventory. I've found lately that you can ask, I've been told, and I've found as well, that you can ask for a discount and you may or may not get it depending on the store. I don't know. And I think I've got a feeling that prices will go up even more. I've got a feeling that sooner or later, all dealers are going to have to charge sales tax because more and more states now have to charge sales tax, right? So that I think we're going that way. And also, what was my point before that? Oh yeah, I've got a feeling that prices might go up again. I don't know that, but the prices have just been going up and up and up, and people are paying it. So I think they will go up again. You know, I was looking at a two-rock combo amp. I wasn't going to buy it, but I was kind of interested at 3200, and then I saw the price went up to 3800. I was like, no way. Even though they weren't charging sales tax from that store, I was like, 30. That's gone up $1,000 in the last few years, and it's obviously something I don't need, so I don't want to buy it, but. The reason I'm telling you this is I then saw someone did buy it. That's my point. There's always someone that will buy this high-end stuff. That makes sense. My friend changed to 12 on a D45. He came from 13. Terrible. Sound like being stuck in second gear. Well, it's all relative, Jasper. It depends what you hear. I agree in that I do hear that thick, full tone from 13s. I do. It's powerful and it's full. I also quite like the sound of 12s because they aren't as full as well on a Dread. I kind of like that too. And for me, there's always a trade-off, right? There's no perfect solution. Like 9s on a Dread are going to sound thin but be incredibly easy to play. And 13s or 14s on the Dread are going to sound fat because they're fat strings, but they're going to be harder to play. So I like the 12s. For me, they're kind of like a nice in-between, especially if you're plugging the guitar in. I don't think it matters so much then either. A guitar you plug in, you could go down to 11s. I think that'd be fine. The thing with the D45 is, it's a D45 and they ship with 13s and they use 13s in the past, and that's what we should use. You know what? Stratocasters used to come with 12 or 13s as well. I can't believe that. Maybe that's why the guys in the 60s and 50s had such fat tone. They had 13 gauge strings on the guitar. The sofa guitar is a concept to sell more guitars. I agree with that. Yeah. We are told we need a product or a solution to something maybe we don't, right? Did you try the stretching? It's good, right? It really works. David, I have way too many instruments. I hope my wife doesn't see this. 11 acoustics, 15 electrics, 6 basses. That's 6 too many. Just kidding. And a bunch of pedals. Yeah, I'm like that too. That closet has a load of pedals in that I hardly ever use, and I'm going to sell them all. I don't need them. Okay, let's see here. Oh, you do have an electric guitar. Okay, so you want an amp. Yeah, okay, so just get the amp. You're good. Thank you, Francis. Appreciate it. Is there diminishing returns on a guitar amplifier, or is anything good to play anywhere? Well, you've got your solid state, your tube amps. Tube amps are not the best idea for you because they're heavy and tubes are in short supply right now. So for you, I still think the Boss Katana is the way to go because it's solid state. You can use it with headphones. You can gig with it. It's light. It's probably reliable. So for you, just thinking about you, Lewis, and what I know about you and what your needs are, I'm going to recommend these ones. And you've got the 50, the 100, or the Artist. I would probably go for the 100. Okay. There's the 112 and the 212. So the 212 is 2 speakers. It's just much bigger and bulkier. I don't think that's a lot of metal players might want that. I think for you, it'd be really great to get the 50 or the 100. The 100 is more money. It's going to have be more versatile in the long run. I would probably get the 100 Mark II. There's a Mark I and a Mark II. I'd go for this one here. And it has effects built in as well, an app as well, so you can add other sounds if you want to, or you can just plug straight in and use it as an amp, which is cool. Yeah, they're good for the money. Again, for the money, but also just as a product. So you've got controls on the top, or you can use the app, and you can connect the foot pedal in the future if you want to play out with it. Right here on the back. It's also got headphones out and a direct out to your computer, so you can go straight into the computer. It's very, very versatile, and it sounds very good. So I would get one of these, and then in the future, if you do kind of like play a lot and you want to get to the next level, in my opinion, I'd get a tube amp. But again, that's just my opinion. I hear of a lot of people that are gigging with the katanas professionally, which is cool. MR says, question, I think the first guitar is from China in old age or from Andalusia. I don't know. I'd have to Google that, MR. But these are things that I'd like to talk about in the future, like more of the history of the guitars, definitely. Considering the neck and string setup, is the Martin SC series considered an electric alternative? I think Martin would like to say that. I think Martin pitched that guitar as a guitar for electric players, younger players. It's also easy to play. It's got the 11 gauge strings. So maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, David, maybe that's why you own one, because it is easier to play, right? Has very low action, very light strings on it, plays like an electric. I think they're going for that demographic, that market, you know, of like, I play electric and I want my acoustic. You've said to me, you play acoustic, should I get an electric? Well, when you go from acoustic to electric, it's easier to play. When you go from electric to acoustic, it's usually harder to play. So the Martin SC13s are, and the 10s, I guess now as well, are aimed at those players that want to progress, or not progress, but own an acoustic, which is as easy to play as their electric. It will never be as easy, I presume, but it'll feel more like it than something like an HD28, of course, right? The neck profile, the neck shape, the taper, the strings, the body shape, everything about it is geared towards that market. Let's face it, the electric guitar market is huge. I'm told that more acoustics are sold than electrics every year, and yet I feel like the electric stuff is what gets a lot of people's attention, and I think that's why they made it. I think that's why Fender made the Acoustasonic. I think that's why Martin have made this guitar. I think it's why Taylor make the T5Z. And I think it's why other companies are making more guitars like that as well. It makes a lot of sense, right? And I still haven't really played one. I played one at Martin. Wasn't that blown away with that particular guitar. But also in my head, I was at Martin. I was there to play vintage Martins. So maybe I was in the wrong frame of mind. And maybe I should try it plugged in. I still don't think I would like the pickup. But who knows? Maybe I would. I don't know. But who knows? I'm still waiting to see if they take that thing further or if they just leave it where it is. Can you plug a guitar into an iPad Pro with an audio interface? I got some research to do. Yes, you can. You can buy an interface for 120 bucks, plug it into an iPad and use the THU app, which sounds great, and then plug in some headphones. But with something like a Katana, you can take it somewhere and actually be amplified. That's the difference, right? With the iPad, that's a great solution. That's a great way to go and convenient, but you're not going to be able to amplify yourself if you want to go and jam or something like that. I thought it would be an easy transition on stage from my electric to acoustic. It does have an electric guitar feel to the neck. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Very thin electric kind of taper, thickness, the 11 gauge strings. But like I said, the body with the slopes and everything. You know, of course, yeah. No, I get it. Extremely helpful, Aaron. I'll be sure to use your links when I get the Mark II. Thank you. Well, like I said, I have affiliate links, and I'm always clear about this. I have affiliate links in the description below to Sweetwater, Reverb, and Thomann, depending on where you live in the world. The best one for me is Sweetwater, honestly. But if you're in Canada, you can't really... Oh, I have Amazon too. But if you're in Amazon USA, if you're in Canada, you probably can't use the links. You might be able to use Reverb. I think my Reverb link is worldwide, so feel free to use that. I think there's Reverb in Canada. I'm sure there is. So feel free to use that. But if otherwise, Lewis, check out. I think it's Long and McQuaid in Canada. Yeah, Long and McQuaid in Canada. So check those guys out. If not, MR said there's not videos of you when you're playing a guitar. I've not seen this. Yes, I played the guitar just yesterday, MR. If you go, well, I'm about to end the stream. If you go onto my channel and click on videos, you can see yesterday where I played a live stream concert. And that's yesterday's video. It's an hour and a half of playing guitar. So please check that out. Thanks for subscribing. I just got another subscriber. Thank you so much, whoever and wherever you are. I appreciate it. I have to end today because I'm going to teach a lesson. I have to walk there. It takes an hour to walk there. So Lee will appreciate that. Walking there with a guitar on my back. But yes, it's great. Should see you hopefully this weekend. I might go on a road. We might go on a road trip this weekend and maybe go to a guitar store, or maybe not. Maybe go somewhere else for a change. But don't know if I'll be live Sunday or not. The best thing to do is to subscribe and ring the bell, and then you'll be notified if I go live or post a video. I will try to post that guitar review that I keep promising as well this week, so watch out for that. And but yeah, just see what happens and stay tuned. Like I said, the best thing to do is to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, select all notifications, and then whenever I post a video or go live, you will be notified. All right? So it's been great. Thank you for the super chats today. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your week. If you're doing open mics or playing guitar, enjoy it. If you're buying gear, hey, enjoy that too. Use my links. David, you're right. He says my shows go longer. You know what? I don't even feel like I've been on for an hour and a half, and I could go longer, but I have to go and teach this lesson. So that's just this. Normally, that's not the case. It's just today we're doing it on a Monday. I agree. I really like just taking the comments from the chat. I like for that to guide me and to get your reaction and go back and forth with that. I think it's really, really cool. It works really well for me. Thank you for the kind words. The acoustics that are the closest electric guitar are still the Ovations. But then like that Variax acoustic or the Acoustasonic, like, don't overlook the Acoustasonic. It doesn't get a much mention these days. They are really good. They are really good. And there's now the more affordable one as well, right? Let me just show you these. At some point, I'd like to replace mine because I had the fret sprout on mine. I had it fixed very cheaply, $30. They fixed the fret sprout. But then you still get left with like the side dots sticking out. So one day I will replace mine, maybe if there's like another model. But don't forget, you've got the American Telecaster, the American Stratocaster, the American Jazzmaster, and also these ones like this one here, 1200. These are the more affordable ones. You don't have the body sounds, all right? But they are in stock right now, and you get $120 in bonus bucks if you buy from Sweetwater. So again, my link is below. And they have different colors too, I think. It's actually a good deal. Look, there's a lot of stock of these right now as well. Don't overlook these. These are very good, all right? For me, these are like the next step. They just didn't go as far as to have like the different tunings and things. But what you do get on this is acoustic sounds and electric sounds. Now, I don't love playing it through my electric amp. It doesn't sound like my Stratocaster. But this thing straight into a PA, what it gives you is versatility. You can drum on it. Well, not on this one. On the more expensive one, you can drum on it. There's a pickup for that. There's the acoustic sound. There's the electric sound. I'm going to start using mine at shows again alongside the Cole Clark because I want to do the lead stuff and also have some. If I'm getting excited here. I want to use it because it's light. It's definitely light. It's thin and comfortable, and it gives you the different sounds. It gives you the electric sound over the acoustic sound, which my Cole Clark doesn't do. And I've found recently that even the acoustic guitars that have a humbucker, they don't work so well with the acoustic strings. But for whatever reason, the Acoustasonics are very balanced. I guess because they have a microchip in there, they balance things out or whatever. But don't overlook those guitars. If you're looking for a transitional guitar between acoustic and electric, I still think that they're the best, in my opinion. And you can watch my streams playing that as well if you want to hear it. I think it sounds really great, direct. So, thank you, Rosanna. Have a good evening. Dinner with the shorts that follows the live stream. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see where the channel goes. Maybe we'll move away from guitars completely and do videos of road trips and dinners. Yeah, check out the Acoustasonics. And the great thing with them is they are all in like Guitar Center. So while they might be kind of covered in sweat and not set up right, go to a Guitar Center and try an Acoustasonic and consider that. If you don't want the body pickup, I would go for this cheaper one, the $1,200. If you want the body pickup, I'd go for the $2,000. Look on the used market. I see the USA ones a lot for $1,500. Mint. I would definitely jump on that. And don't overlook them. They're cool. And let's see if we get any new ones this year as well. That'd be cool as well. Let's see if they take this technology further. I hope they do. All right. Thank you, everybody. It's been great. I've enjoyed myself. I've got to go and get ready for my lesson. I will see you all soon. Take care. Be well. Keep playing those open mics. Keep going to the gym. Keep looking at gear. If you find any good gear, send it my way. We'll discuss it on the channel. And ring the bell and subscribe, and watch out for my video this week on the mystery guitar. I think you're going to get a kick out of it. One of the viewers did guess it. I had an email from a viewer, and they know what it is. Based on watching all my videos, they're like, well, you said this in this video, you said this in this video, and you said this in this video. Is it this guitar? And I said, yes, but don't tell anyone. I'll post a video soon. All right, everybody. And then maybe if I do post a video, I'll pull it out next week and we can show it on the channel as well, on this stream. But anyway, I like doing the Q&A. It's really interesting for me. I hope it's interesting for you. Take care and be well. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the new subscribers. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
At midnight, wear your high heels, your red dress, and your smile. You look just like this other girl I knew. She was beautiful, and if you want to, maybe we can stay a little longer, stay a little longer. Yeah, we'll dance all night. Yeah, we'll dance all night. Like our hearts have never been broken, never been broken. To the lost and